It's easy to feel forgotten. Life moves fast for most people, and when you're you, the feeling often comes that everyone's flying by you rather than to you. Now this can sometimes turn into a pity party, and that's got its own set of problems for a different show. But what do you do when you legitimately feel alone? Like no one cares? The one group you'd expect to be there would be your family, but sometimes that's not even guaranteed. On this Backstage Pass, we're sitting down with Brian, Josh, and Eric from the band DecembeRadio to talk about what they're passionate about, letting you know you're not alone. So stick around. You've got a Backstage Pass. Welcome to Backstage Pass, I'm Clinton Foppel. You know, the band DecembeRadio has been called by God to share a message with you. That's right. Oh, sure, they're called to play music too, but the message they want you to hear loud and clear is they're passionate about you.
Yeah, we have a passion for youth, and these kids are so engrossed in media and the internet and TV and all that, and I feel like it takes up almost all of their time. And it's cool to be able to go and do a show, and for those kids to kind of escape that and to be able to enter a time of worship and just, you know, having fun. And then, you know, for us to be able to share our hearts with them is a very important thing to us, to be able to, you know, share what God's done in our lives and to let those kids know that, you know, there is a hope, and these kids are dealing with a lot of things these days. And so from all of that, I think it's awesome for us to be able to, within our songs and within actually, you know, there at the show, being able to reach out to them, being able to let them know that there is a God and that He loves them, and He wants to take care of them and have a relationship with them.
Now, it's easier said than understood when someone like Josh says, there's a God who loves you, is there for you, and wants a relationship with you. Where? You ever asked that question? Where is He? And I don't feel Him. How come others talk about God like He's in the room, but I don't even sense His presence? Well, friend, first thing you need to know, if we're gonna be honest, we've all asked those questions. We live in a busy world. It's fast moving. Text messages flying around cyber world and 24/7 digital chit chat. Well, that's not the Creator's style. He doesn't text, Facebook, or blog. He speaks quietly, in here and in here. Sometimes we don't like what He's saying because it's countercultural. It's not me-centered, it's He-centered. And often we allow doubt and emotion to block out His still small voice. But when you commit to spending time with others who are listening for His voice too, well, neat things can happen.
I've actually had the opportunity this year, a friend of mine, we started co-leading a life group, and it's all high school dudes, and out of just 12 kids, our small group, you wouldn't believe some of the stories and some of the stuff that they're facing, and we've got to see that. So every week, every Wednesday night, we're trying to offer that hope, and the kids have really, really opened up. But our big thing is just there is a God who loves you when it doesn't seem like anyone else on this earth does. Maybe not even your parents or your peers. It seems like no one's there. There's a God that's there. And I know in my life, I came to a point kind of in those college years right after high school that I had pretty much turned to everything I could turn to. And that's when it came real to me that it wasn't just about going to church. It wasn't just about following your parents wherever they went. That you needed to have that relationship with God. And you needed to take that step towards Him, that He's always there waiting for you. So,
like Eric says here, you need to just take that step. You know, often we ask the self-centered question here, well, what's in it for me? From a worldly perspective, nothing. You won't get elected class president and a lottery check won't show up in the mail. But supernaturally, As you listen for the quiet voice of the one who made you, you'll begin to experience a fullness in life because of the life you were created to live. Having a relationship with your God will do incredible things with your future. More about that and a whole lot more right after this. Welcome back to Backstage Pass. Once you begin to hear the voice of God in your life, the next thing is to grab a hold of what He's telling you to do with your one and only life. We asked Josh what he'd want you to know.
I would say to encourage them to really follow the dreams and be able to kind of hone in on what God is really saying to them. And I know that it's hard sometimes to really understand what God's trying to communicate to you. A lot of things can cloud your mind, your decisions, and your heart. But to really, go after that one thing that you feel like God has placed in your life and in your heart. For us, it was music. For us, it was, the thrill of being able to stand on the stage. But little did we know it was a whole lot more than that. And it's led itself into a lot of amazing things. But just to be able to get up on the stage and communicate with people. But for the student, the kid out there that is dreaming of being an astronaut, that's dreaming of being a pastor, and thinks that it's maybe out of reach or it's not the cool thing to do, to not worry about what everybody else thinks about them, and to never back down from what they know is right in their heart, and to be able to just press forward and know that one thing that they want to do, or multiple things, whatever that is that God has placed on their heart. And even with their friends, being able to kind of communicate with their friends about the deeper issues of what they're dealing with in their life. I think a lot of relationships in high school, and it doesn't happen as much in college. They start to get deeper, but it's a lot of surface relationships. And I did not have a great youth group growing up. I didn't have those friends. I had Brian back here. We grew up together, and he was pretty much my only friend that I could confide in and talk about those things. So I would encourage those kids to really be able to find one or two or a group of friends that they can really, whether it's their youth group or whoever, to be able to say, hey, I'm dealing with this. This is what I feel like God's leading me to do. And that can go a long way, and God can use those people in your life.
Genesis 1:27 says that you were created in God's image. And guess what? So are your friends. We talked earlier about hearing from God. Well, I believe another way He speaks to us as His children are through the others He's created. Being in a body of people that care and encourage one another is a huge way that God speaks. It's here that we keep one another from accidental living and can find the support to avoid the scandals of life that enslave so many each and every day. Are you in this kind of a group? Well, if not, why don't you jump on the conversation at chatlistenlove.com and let us know how we can help. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, can I be honest? Something that's always bugged me about Christian talk is the phrase, give it to God. Now, like I said earlier, if we don't know where God is or who He is, we might be searching Google a long time to give Him whatever it is we want to get rid of. Within relationship, though, giving it to God looks real practical. I'm not in control, God. You are.
We've had to give a lot of things to God. When we were in middle school, we were in a cover band just playing the top 40 songs, and we felt the calling to start leading worship and to go to churches. And so that was us giving our gift back to God. And then also out on the road now, we have to give our family time to God and just for Him to help guide us, because we are on the road a lot. And even though we are a ministry and this is great what we're doing, we still can't neglect those other things that God has called us to, being husbands, and I'm a new father, the first band baby a couple weeks ago. So it's tough to juggle all these things in your life and be the husband that you need to be, and also the minister out on the road. So, And then just being unified with the guys on the band. We're in a Bible study and try to stay, together and unified in that. So there's a lot of things going on with us, but God, He always leads us in the right direction.
I would say that's probably been the best thing for us in the past year. It's the Bible study Brian talked about, just saying, okay, we're going to do Matthew. We got 30 dates on this tour. It's roughly that many chapters, and every day going through a chapter and just not knowing what God's going to bring at us. It's not like we picked this book because we want to learn about this. It's like, God, show us.
And that's it. Here, God, you take this from me. I can't control it. And you show me what you want to do with this thing that I know I can't be boss of no more. Show me, God, what kinds of crazy, cool things you want to do through this choice of mine to give you control. Now, friend, can I tell you a secret? This idea is worth its weight in gold. We really can't control the things of our life. We think we can, but at the end of the day, there's just too much going on that others can do that can steal our ability to run our world. I want to thank DecembeRadio for their challenge today. Great group of guys and some great music. So check it out wherever you buy yours. And thanks to you. My prayer is that this Backstage Pass gives you the boost you need to live your life on purpose and not by accident. We're Remedy. We chat, we listen, and we love. Visit us at www.remedy.fm and let us know how we can walk with you. Hey, you've been given Backstage Pass.